Hello. I'd like to give you an overview of Results Manager so that if you're a teacher new to the Clarity English programs, you'll have an idea of how to get going. Now, the first thing that we send you is a welcome email that explains how you can sign in as an administrator, as well as other information about your account. It has your login details and various links. So you use that to go to Results Manager and sign in as an administrator with the password that's listed in the email. This is what an account looks like when you first go into it. It shows the programs that you've got on the left, and the bit on the right where it lists the students and teachers will look very, very empty to begin with. And really, Results Manager is all about the people, getting people into the system and then generating reports on those people so that you as a teacher can see what your students have done. It's also about usage statistics, so your administrators can make sure that the program's being well used, and how people get into the program. So we'll cover all of that, but of course the very first thing is you've got to have a student in the program to get going. So to add a learner, excuse me, I'm going to click on the main group and choose to add learner. Now I'm going to add Ada Chan as a student. I'm going to give her a fake email address and a password and choose to add. So Ada now appears as a student and she is immediately able to use all the programs in the account. Again, the welcome email will give you the student URLs that you can use. So because I need to get some data to show the reporting, let's now flip to excuse me, Road to IELTS and see what happens. So Ada can log in the account that I just created. Now I'm going to nip into the writing section. Maybe I'm going to start by watching a little video. So the video starts. Let me pause that there. Maybe I'll do a couple of quick exercises to start on introduction. And as you've guessed, this is all about getting some progress for Ada so that it makes sense when I generate a report. I'm going to answer a couple of quick questions. Choose marking. So you can see I got 20%, so remember that. Now let's go back to the menu. In fact, I'm going to sign out as Ada now. So back in Results Manager, I want to see what Ada has done. So I can click to generate a report. Now, first of all, I just want to see overall what she's done. So the high summary level, all the programs, not filtering anything out. Let's just see what she's done. And I can see that she's used Road to IELTS. She's done 3 exercises. There's an average score of 20%. And so it's just a rough view. Now, if I wanted more detail, I now know I just want Road to IELTS. I can choose to show every record. And now when I generate the report, I'll see more. I'll see the 3 exercises that she did, the starting out video, the introduction that didn't have a score, the 1 exercise for 20% that she did. I can see when it was done and how long it was spent. And reports are really all about whether you want more or less detail. So that's looking at Ada, but probably what's much more interesting to teachers is when you can get a report on your whole class, on a whole group of students. So before we can get to that, we've obviously have to get a group of students in. Now, whilst you can add all your students one by one like Ada, generally at the beginning of the year you might have hundreds of students to enter, and hopefully you have a school management system that will export to a spreadsheet. So here's a spreadsheet where I've just got 5 students listed. This could be many hundreds, but I just want to show how to import. So I've got name, email, password, and a group that I want to put the students into. So I'm going to select this little bit of data, including the name, email, password, the headers, and copy it. Now when I come back to Results Manager, I'm going to go to my main group because that's where I want my students to be, and I'm going to import users. So I click here and choose to paste. So that's what I just copied from Excel. I start the import, and this will now show me the students as they're added, the group that was added, and it'll show me if anything has gone wrong during the import. So now I have a group with a lot of students in it. Now, of course, I probably have a teacher for this group. I can import the teacher in the same way, or I can right-click to add a teacher. So I'm going to add Miss Jones as a teacher. Again, a fake email address. Add. So you can see that Miss Jones is added with a different icon, and she's now a teacher for this group. So let's have a look and see what happens when Miss Jones logs in. So I'm going to sign out as the administrator, and now I'm going to log in as Miss Jones. And you'll see that I can only see my students. I don't see any other groups or any other students. So as a teacher, I have privacy. Nobody else is going to be seeing the reports for my students. And so here I can click to generate a report, and that will then show me, I can look at all the different levels of report to see what people have been doing. As a teacher, it's quite useful. I can show users with no record. So if I've set a piece of work that's mandatory, I can quickly see who hasn't done it. So that's quite a useful part of reports. Now I'm going to sign out and go back in as the administrator so that I can show you something else. And that is usage statistics. Now, it's important to know that your programs are being well used. So we have a tab here, usage statistics, and then I can click to see for any one of the programs how it's being used. Now, this is particularly useful if your programs are being used in self-access. Maybe students just don't know how to find them, or are just unaware. And so here I can see how many licenses are being used, how many times the program is being used this month. So this is the sessions for the video I'm making. I can see everything's being done in writing. Of course, a normal account would have this built up a lot more, and you could see what areas students are choosing to focus on. Once a month you get an email with a link through to this, to remind you to keep an eye on these statistics. Clarity has posters and flyers and things that might be useful to you to put up in IELTS centres or self-access classrooms. So that's the usage statistics side of it. Then there's a control centre. Now this is particularly useful at the beginning of the year because you can control what students type to sign in. So in this case, you can choose whether people sign in with a name, an ID or an email. In general, if possible, I suggest to use email. Then as people use phones and tablets increasingly, some of those require you to use email. Everything becomes a lot easier. So set this up at the beginning of the year and then you can generally forget about the control centre. Now, one other useful feature for teachers is the ability to focus your students on a particular content. So let's say that Miss Jones is teaching writing for students who are preparing for IELTS. So what she can do is choose her group, tick to allow changes to hidden content. So hidden content lets us, well, as it said, make things unavailable. So in Road to IELTS, let's say Miss Jones doesn't want her students to be doing anything other than the advice videos in the writing section. So when Aisha or Bridget sign in to Road to IELTS, they will only be able to go into writing and only be able to look at the advice videos. Then maybe next week she'll add in the practice zone so they can start doing some practice, and she can narrow it down more or open it up depending on what she wants. Once everything's set, take the check mark off, and then you can't accidentally change anything. So this is something that Miss Jones can do for her group. It won't affect any other students. Ada, who is not in Miss Jones' group, will still be able to access the whole of Road to IELTS. So that's an overview of Results Manager. We looked at how to get students and teachers into the programme, into groups, how you can generate reports, the privacy for teachers, how you can look at usage statistics to make sure the programme is being used, how you can control how students get into the programme, how you can hide content to focus students on the areas you want them to look at the moment. If you have any questions about Results Manager, do send me an email, adrian@clarityenglish.com, or have a look at our website, the support pages. If you have any problems, support@clarityenglish.com is our constantly checked support email, and we'll try to help you if you've got any problems. Thank you.